Hello and welcome back to F1 2019 on the TomFM channel. Today the season is starting to draw to its close. 4 races left and today we are in Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix. Obviously, after the disaster of last time out in Suzuka, we still stay third in the drivers' standings, but we are 47 points adrift of Lewis Hamilton, so we've got a mountain to climb. We need to win every single race from here on out, and we need to make sure that Lewis Hamilton doesn't really finish in the podium position. I'm not sure how we can make that happen, but we've got to make sure we race our very, very best. As you can see as well, we're almost 100 points down on Mercedes in the Constructors. I think that's kind of beyond us now a little bit, and that's probably down to me not doing very well in Suzuka and 1 or 2 other circuits this season. But we scored points in all but 3 races. We've just been unlucky with the races that we haven't scored points in. Either way, coming into today's race, obviously no upgrades, no engine changes or anything like that. So we're going to jump straight into qualifying in today's race. We need to get a good qualifying. We need to be on pole. So as we fast forward through the session, just try and get an understanding of what time we need to get in Q1 to progress into Q2. Mexico is another one of those tracks that I'm not particularly well versed at, but we said that about Sochi and we won in Russia in Sochi. Whereas in Suzuka, where I'm like pretty good, I know that track really, really well, we didn't do particularly well either. So hopefully this sort of plays into our hands and we have a bit of beginner's luck on this track. Maybe that might help out. To get into the top 15, we need a 117.7 right now, which I think we should be able to get. So as we come across here for our flying lap here in Mexico, Charles Leclerc is currently on provisional pole, but it's only Q1 of course, so it doesn't matter too much. But we need to make sure we really make the most of the late braking on this track, because there's a lot of opportunities for late braking in Mexico, I feel. And I feel like we're quite good at that. Or at least I think I'm quite good at it. We might actually be rubbish at it, but I just think I'm really good. It's one of those kind of situations maybe. But obviously you can see here, just lots of chicanes, lots of chances for late braking. So perhaps even if we don't get pole position, we can get some good overtakes in these late braking zones. As we come into the stadium part of this Mexican track then, which is just amazing, this stadium part. It's such a cool little feature of the Grand Prix circuit. I've sort of just whacked a bollard there, which wasn't particularly good. But as we come around the final corner now, what is it going to be? We're going to be 5th fastest, which in my opinion is good enough to get ourselves into Q2. Obviously now we're in Q2, we need to be in the top 10 if we want to be going through into Q3 and fight it out for pole position. And I think we should be there pretty comfortably. The times at the moment look pretty similar. There's 17.2 now is the time to get. I think we beat that. I think we got a 116 something last time out or so. So I'm pretty happy with that. We should be able to get through into Q2 easily. And now starting our flying lap here in Q2, we need to put a fantastic lap in to beat Charles Leclerc. Now he's been very, very good at the close of this season, Charles Leclerc, so we want to make sure we stay ahead of him. We want to try and beat him in qualifying. So again, late braking in Sector 1 I think is going to be the way forward, but not cutting the corners like that. That's not the way forward. Now we've just set a purple sector, which is fantastic, but this middle sector, I'm just not fantastic at it. It's some of these sort of slow corners that sort of lead into each other. And if Japan is anything to go by, I'm just not particularly good at corners that lead into each other, as we are messing it up completely here. So our purple Sector 1 is probably going to be sort of written out now, as we are slower in Sector 2, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter too much yet. As long as we're right up there, looking like we're going to qualify into Q3, that is all that matters. As we come across the line then, it's going to be 5th fastest, behind George Russell in the Williams, impressively for Williams that is. Let's return to the garage. I think that's going to be good enough. Famous last words though, isn't it? Luckily it was good enough. We dropped down to 7th, but it was good enough to get into Q3. We need to improve by a second though if we want to be beating Charles Leclerc for pole position. So we'll see what other cars do. We'll see what some other cars do first of all, as Leclerc sets a place with a 115.9. With a fast Sector 2 and Sector 3. We need to improve in Sector 2. That is where we're losing time. Sector 2 is where we're going to get pole or not get pole. And as we come across the line then, looking to get our pole position going, we know that we are fast. We know we are fast in Sector 1, as we are on quite a few tracks actually, which is interesting. But we need to make sure we just nail Sector 2, which is easier said than done, obviously. Coming to the end of Sector 1 then, what's it going to be? Not purple. We're slower by less than half a second. Half a second. We're slower by 5/100ths. It's negligible. There's not much in it either way. I'm not quite sure what I was trying to say, but I'm going to have to try and stay quiet now through Sector 2. There we go. I know if I can sort of stay quiet and concentrate through Sector 2, we could get a pretty good one there. And we have lost a little bit of time, but not massive amounts of time like we did on the last lap. And I think we can sort of make it up a little bit through this sector, Sector 3, as we get some good corners there. Come sort of a bit wider maybe to get a good exit. And I think now we could be on for a pole position lap time. It's going to be only 4th fastest. We're going to go around for another lap then. Another lap. This time, though, we are down by 0.2 seconds from where we were on the previous lap and slowing. So I'm not quite sure. We need to do a lot of late braking and see if we can even nail Sector 2 even more somehow. But I'm not quite sure we'll be able to do that. Okay, well, I've somehow come through Sector 2 faster. We've got a purple Sector 2, which is brilliant. We just need to make sure we get a fast Sector 3 through his final few corners, which to be fair, we are faster, but only just faster, not massively faster, as we're now losing time. And I think 5th fastest is what it's going to be for today. We'll go around once more, but I just don't think we're going to get it done. I mean, we are only 0.1 seconds down. Come on, lads. I know we can do this. Sector 2 this time around, though, is not as good. And I just don't think we're going to be able to do it, unfortunately. I think we're going to stay 5th on the grid, which isn't terrible. But it could be a lot better than what we're seeing right now as we come around the final few corners. And again, it's not quite pole position. But I think this is a good track for overtaking, late braking. We can do it. Now, as we line up on the grid, actually, it turns out that we're 6th in the end, not quite in that top 5. So that's even more annoying. But we are on the correct side of the grid for maybe the first corner if we want to go up the inside. So that's quite handy. We're not going to change the pit strategy. We'll sort of change it as we need to. As we line up on the grid, though, we are P4. So some cars are taking grid penalties. Unfortunately, not Lewis Hamilton. We need him to take some penalties at some point as we try and block off the really fast getaway there for George Russell. We didn't get a bad start, though, as we sort of try and defend now. We've got to go up the inside on turn 1 here. We've got to try and get the moves done as we have a little bit of contact there with George Russell. But I think there's the crash behind us. Vettel's spun off, which isn't too good for us. And there's now a safety car. What? We have never, ever seen a safety car in this season, and now we've finally got one. So what caused it? Can we actually... Oh, no, we don't want to restart the session. Instant replay. Can we see what happened? Or kind of. We just saw that... All we see... I think it must have been... We didn't touch him, I don't think. But he's off, and now we've got to adhere to the safety car, which is mental. So we come around these corners then. The Ferrari isn't there, as we've sort of gone a lap now, but the safety car, as you can see, is now out in front of us. And now we're just going to sort of get involved with keeping the tyres warm and things like that. Oh, God, we need to crash into Hamilton there. That would have been bad. I thought it might control me, to be fair, but it doesn't control me, which is really annoying because I've actually now got to sort of stay focused. Oh, interestingly, it just popped up saying Alexander Albon is out of the session. So somehow he must have had either an engine failure or he's crashed under the safety car. Importantly, though, Vettel is still in the race for some reason, which I find peculiar as... I don't know. That's surely he'd be out if there's a safety car. I mean, considering in Monaco we had cars crashed on the track, I don't quite understand why this is the safety car. And in Monaco, cars crashed on the track didn't produce a safety car. Same in Singapore, actually. We had cars crashed on the track in Singapore, no safety car. So because the safety car's coming in, Charles Leclerc sort of controls the pace of the race. So we have now got to go proper slow, and we need to get a fantastic restart to sort of be within a chance of beating Hamilton. I think as we come around the corner, this is when it's going to happen now. We're right on the tail of Hamilton. Surely this is it now. In the slipstream of Hamilton. Please, lads, come on. Why are we not gaining on him? We'll have to do some late braking down the inside as he actually gains on Charles Leclerc. Switches to the outside. This is our opportunity now. Late brake into the corner. Go wide. Wow, has this just worked? Has that just worked? We've not touched anyone. We've done that perfectly. What a restart to the race that was. Absolutely beautiful. And now we are in charge of this race. We lead the race. We set a purple sector 1 as well. Beautiful stuff. That was absolutely textbook. That was a fantastic overtake. And now we just need to control the race. Okay, so apparently it was a fault with the DRS. So we can't open DRS, which is actually fine because we'll be in charge of this race, obviously. But as you see there, Hamilton was very quick on us down that straight. So we have to pay really close attention now. We've got to be careful on the straights, and this is one of those straights, and Hamilton is going to be catching us up here, definitely. He may even go for the overtake, which he is. We're going to sort of defend by taking him all the way to the outside, or the inside of the track, technically. He'll have the corner on us, but we're going to have the racing line to go around the outside of him and have the inside on the next corner, which I'm happy with. He's got the inside on this one, though. We do maintain it around the outside. Right, we've been told to change strategy as well. Apparently we're coming in on lap 10 now, which I'm happy with. Let's go a bit longer on these soft tyres after, of course, the safety car has sort of prolonged the life of these tyres. So we'll pit on lap 10 now rather than lap 8. I'll tell you what, so far this race has been exhilarating. This lap we are much further ahead from Hamilton, although we did go a bit wide round there. So we set a fastest sector 2 as well, which is good. But a great battle with Hamilton there on that lap. We got the better of him just about, and I'm still getting over that overtake, that double overtake there to take lead of the race. That was one of the moves of the entire season. And Hamilton is on our tail. I don't think he's going to be close enough this lap. Now, DRS has been enabled, so he probably will... Yeah, he is going to be gaining on us with DRS. We can't open our DRS, obviously, because apparently we've got an issue with it right now, and it's still there under, like, orange, so we can't use DRS. But he's not got ahead of us yet, so as long as we... I don't know, if we can get further ahead on this lap, that would be perfect, obviously. We just need to get further than a second away, and it will be okay. But he's going to have DRS on us now, I think. I can't see it open, but he's crashing into the back of us there. I mean, right, actually, that's a bad idea. Let's just get around this corner first, onto a straight bit before we have a quick look at what just happened there. Right. We are moving... I don't know, it's kind of our fault, that, actually. Maybe I won't include this in the episode so you think I'm a great driver. Oh, Hamilton, has he spun off? Has he spun off? Oh, I can't. He just goes wide round the outside. It's left the door open for some other cars, though. I thought I was defending my line there, and I didn't really think we caused too much of an issue, but we have done. I mean, it's advantageous to us, definitely. But it's sort of taken away from the sporting overtakes that we did to start off this. And now we've sort of caused some issues for Hamilton, as George Russell, by the way, in a Williams, is up to 3rd place. And our teammate, Charles Leclerc, is now the car chasing us down. Now, as we come down onto the straight, Leclerc is going to have DRS on us. Which side is he going to go? He's going to go down the outside. So we've got to hold the line on the inside. But he's probably too far ahead. We'll late brake him once again, which we have done. Got past him cleanly, and he's sort of back warning for a collision with Charles Leclerc. Oh, has he gone off as well? I mean, it's good for us, because it's not good for us at all. As a Williams is now overtaking us for the lead of the race. He's going for it, George Russell. We've squeezed him off. Stroll is now at the session as well. We are really under intense battles right now. Oh, God, these last 2 laps have been... I mean, I've messed it up as well. The first 2 laps after the safety car, magnificent racing from me. The ones afterwards, less than par racing than me, subpar racing. It's helped me out, obviously, which is good, but the way it's been done, not the best. Now, the contact we had with Hamilton clearly wasn't too bad, because he's right there behind us now, and he will have DRS on us once again. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, faster than our lap by a lot. Alright, an awful lot. As he goes down the outside of us, we've got to get in the slipstream. We've got to do another late break into this corner like we did on Charles Leclerc. And it's worked out again, this late braking. No contact. Okay, there was contact. Right, where was the contact there? Because I can't... Like with Charles Leclerc, I didn't feel the contact at all. So we come across... It's a wheel tap. It's a wheel tap. I'd say that's hardly contact. But, I don't know, perhaps it is seen as contact. I mean, it is actual contact, but it's not like it's bad. I don't think. I think it's acceptable wheel banging, and it's not damaged anything on either car. So I don't really see the issue with that. But that's our second warning for contact now. One more and we will get a penalty. Now interestingly, Hamilton has gone into the pits, and so is our teammate, whilst we've just gone 0.7 seconds slower on that lap. 0.7 seconds slower on that lap than our fastest lap. I think we could be overtaken in the pit stops here, lads. I think we could be overtaken here in the pit stops, and there's not much we can do about it, I'm afraid. Hopefully, what will have happened is that they'll be sort of held up with each other in the pits, Leclerc and Hamilton. Hopefully that will be the case. They'll sort of hold each other up, although Gasly is apparently on newer tyres. He must have pitted, and he's behind us, and not by much. So I think Gasly could be the one to do us. How's Gasly done this? Has he pitted yet, Gasly? Does anyone... No one will know us, will they? But how is Pierre Gasly doing this? Oh no, Gasly is coming in, as is Ricciardo. Please, can we not be Please don't get held up. We've not been held up. Oh, now that was... Well, to be fair, it wasn't close because Gasly was coming in behind us. I thought he was going to come in front of us, which was quite handy. But where is Hamilton? Hamilton is nowhere to be seen. Neither's our teammate. Oh, they're right there. They're right there. But they've not managed to get us in the pits. And Hamilton has gone to the hard compound tyre, not the soft compound tyre, which I find very strange. Or the mediums, sorry, rather than going on to the mediums from the softs. So we're on the faster tyre than Hamilton. And Russell is actually on the mediums, so he's overtaken Hamilton just now. So actually, this could have worked out massively in our favour somehow. And the thing is as well, the Williams of Russell is not the same pace as us. I mean, obviously it's fast to be up there. They've obviously had some major upgrades to the season. But that Williams is not as fast as us, and it's not as fast as a Mercedes. And he seems to be... There's a bit of a train of cars behind that Williams, so he seems to be holding everyone up. And he's giving us the opportunity to go for it. How far ahead are we? We've crossed the line there. We are 2 seconds ahead of Russell. Let's monitor that. As we come across Sector 1, Hamilton has just got ahead of Russell, actually. So perhaps it's not quite working out in our favour. And actually, they've caught up by 0.2 of a second. So we're not in the clear yet, lads. Not in the clear yet. We could be on for a fast lap here, though, as we just get a purple Sector 2. As long as we're fast through the stadium, that is good. And it sort of shows that the kind of pace we've got now, as weight is leaving the car as the fuel goes down. We're on slightly fresher tyres as well. We could be on for a fast lap, and if we get a fast lap, that is going to be a bonus point as well if we get it come the end of the race. Cross the line, not quite the fastest lap of the race, but a second up on our fastest, and actually we've gained loads of time to Hamilton there, because he's now 2.9 seconds behind us, so clearly that was rapid for us. Thankfully Hamilton switched those hard tyres, because him being on the hard tyre, which is obviously the slower tyre than what we're on, that has helped us out massively. He's gifted us the race win here by going onto those hard tyres.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
I didn't realise I wasn't in the top 10 at any point. I mean, thank you for telling me, engineer, that we're now in the top 10. But, I mean, we were 4th, and that's the lowest we've been. So I don't think you needed to tell me that, really, did you? Let's turn it down right now, because we've had situations this season where it's not actually mattered where we finish, because we've had a rubbish race, but we have run out of fuel on occasions this season. So we don't want to do that right now, because that would be awful. So we'll turn the engine mode down as we come through these tricky sort of sweeping corners that I'm getting better at, but still not quite perfecting on every single lap. As we come around, though, for our last lap of the race, as long as we don't have an ending like we had in Japan last time around, we're going to be taking home the race win here today. Only because I think Hamilton went onto those hard compound tyres and sort of held up everyone else, as well as Williams sort of helping out a little bit. So we've been lucky today, definitely, but we had some fantastic overtakes. Either way, by looks of things, Russell is still fighting for a podium place. So Williams could be getting a podium today if they can just hold off. I think they're dicing with death with a McLaren, not a McLaren, a Renault of Max Weber. I can just sort of look. I went through his corners really badly because I was looking at the minimap trying to see who was behind Russell. But it is Weber. I know it's Weber now. And Russell might just hold on. But as we come round... Oh, look at these fireworks. Oh, this is class. I love that. That's a nice little touch, to be fair. But as we come round the final corner, we are going to be winning the Mexican Grand Prix and taking home 25 points. And as you can see, us dancing away on the podium with Lewis Hamilton. If we look back, is it going to show him? There he is, George Russell of a Williams getting on the podium. Now, who would have ever thought that possible this season? Will it happen in real life? No, of course it's not going to happen in real life.
Great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table.
Well, he doesn't move further ahead, does he? Because actually, we've picked up more points, so we actually gain ground to him. So he's not moved further ahead at all. So, shut up, Anthony Davidson. You don't do anything. We pick up all 25 points, though, which is absolutely fantastic. 40 points behind Hamilton now. We need to make sure we win the next 3 races, and Hamilton can't really get the podium places. It's going to be so tight at the end of the season. So tight at the end of the season as 80 points behind Mercedes. We're not going to catch him in constructors. But, it's close. But are we cutting it too close? That's the big question. So, USA next time around before we go to Brazil and then Abu Dhabi. It's going to be really tight. Really, really tight. I think we've just had too few poor finishes at the start of the season, like the 6th, 8th, 5th, 18th. They were poor. Obviously, a 16th and a 20th in Singapore and Japan is not helping out either. I think we may have just left things a little bit too late this season, but with 3 races to go, it's still anyone's championship, as anything can happen. So join us next time in America for the Circuit of the Americas, where hopefully, we're going to replace our gearbox as well. Let's do that. Did I press yes? I hope I pressed yes. I think that's what I was doing. But next time in the USA, let's come back, get another win, and hopefully win a championship.